Welcome everyone, today we have 10 silly new glitches in Super Mario Maker 2. Today we go over some really crazy camera motion after the flag gets hit. We discover that Bowser actually has hitboxes on his feet, allowing you to slide underneath him as he walks. We have this really cool boot animation glitch that spans across all themes and power-ups. We also go over some more Intangible Bowser Jr. Shell shenanigans. Without further ado, let's dive in. Did you know a big ant trooper with wings on it coming out of a pipe will actually phase through a wall 3 blocks to the right as it comes out of the pipe? Apparently this wall does not exist to this ant trooper. Kind of just goes right through that wall. As if it's not even there. If we put red blocks right here, so red on-off blocks, it will still go through, but it will get caught a little bit. Turns back and then phases through the red blocks. I believe the same behavior applies if there is a cannon. Same thing. It will go right through the cannon as if the cannon's not there. It does get caught a little bit, but it does end up going right through the cannon. This ant trooper normally cannot go through P-switches, which is normal. However, it will activate the top P-switch as it tries to do that, but it will still get caught on the bottom one. Interesting that it activates the P-switch and then gets caught. And with POW blocks, nothing really happens. It goes through this first wall initially, but then it gets caught on these POW blocks and gets stuck. Now, if we force it out with a donut block, will it actually pop out? Yeah, with a donut block, it will actually pop through the POW block. So what happens if there's a track block right there? It gets pushed into the track block. With an exclamation mark block, it just phases right through the entire thing. Here we have an interesting little setup. I'm going to use this shell and I'm going to throw it against this wall over here so that it's consistently hitting this note block. And now I'm going to have Mario stand in about this location right here. And depending on what Mario does, he has a chance to either clip through the semi-solid, allowing him to go on this bottom path, or clip through this little corner right here, allowing him to go in this bottom left path over here. It tends to be fairly consistent. If you duck jump over here, you pop up, and if you do normal jumps, you pop down. The normal jumps popping down is not 100% consistent, but it's fairly consistent or consistent enough. So if I jump over here and release the shell, I'm going to duck. And now in this duck state, it pops us straight up. That seems to be more consistent than the other case. But anyway, this allows me to go to the left and go into this door right here. Same scenario, if I do not duck, it seems to be a little consistent that I clip through the semi-solid and go into the bottom path. Let's see if we can make this work. So I'm just going to stand here like this and it just pops us underneath. Which is kind of cool because it clips us through the semi-solid, which is not normal. And it clips us through that little gap between the launcher and the note block. But this could be a little split path situation for a level. Although honestly, I don't know if somebody would know what to do in this situation. You would have to use indicators, and you would have to do a great job indicating where the hell to go and what to do. But this is kind of a split path little glitch thing. If Mario stumbles upon this little situation here after he hits the flag, hits this conveyor belt dash block, he gets stuck into this sideways spring, and it will make the camera shake all crazily. This row of blocks right here is very important because it adjusts the way Mario flips after he gets off the flag, which makes him go into the sideways spring and shakes the screen like crazy. Otherwise, the screen just kind of stays still and doesn't do anything. So, check this out. It does not matter where you hit the flag, it just matters that you hit the flag. Camera shakes around all crazy like. So I changed the setup up a little bit. I added more springs like this and then have a gap right here. And now there's actually a wall, a ceiling, and then another gap. So what's going to happen is the camera's going to go all crazy as Mario climbs this sideways spring tower. And then he's actually going to clip through this little block right here, which is pretty interesting as well. Check this out. Are you ready? Woo! Let's do this. Check out the camera. And check out where Mario gets stuck. How does he clip through that? Nobody knows. Craziness. This is the last version of this glitch that we're going to do of this. There are many different ways that you can manipulate the camera movement. But check this out. If this is at the end of a long level, it will actually take you back through the level after you hit the flagpole. Check it out. So say you go through the entire level and you hit the flag, you're like, cool. Then you get a preview of what you just endured, what you just went through. Here's an interesting little glitch. I'm going to jump on top of this cannon right here and hold right. And when I do, it's going to slide me through the top of this cannon, kind of, and then pop me back. So I can't actually clip through, but it is interesting visually. So I jump up here, jump on top of the cannon, and I just hold right. So I will slide down the top of this and just pop back. It would be cool if you could clip through it, but this is cool as well. So apparently Bowser's feet have a hitbox. As he's walking towards you, you can actually duck slide underneath him without taking damage if you do it at the right time and you get the right kind of RNG. It's a very, very finicky little glitch, little trick. We're going to see if we can get this to work. Woo! I did it! Woo! I did it! Sweet! Slid right underneath Bowser. Into the goal! That was pretty cool. Very, very difficult to get to work. We are going to exit this door, hit this Goomba, and collect this boot right here. A snowball coming out of this launcher right here is going to knock us forward, and we're going to collect this big mushroom. And when we do, a rather interesting thing happens. We get stuck in that running animation that Mario has, even though we are still inside of a boot. So it's a very glitchy animation that we get stuck in. Isn't that interesting? So we are currently stuck inside of this boot in that running animation. It also works with a regular boot as well, the green one. The boot looks like it's a little bit glitched as well. It's not the right size. This also works in other themes with other power-ups. Notice I am in that diving animation with the frog here in SMB3, as I'm inside of this green boot. And here's what it looks like in the stiletto. So this animation glitch looks like it works with all power-ups as long as you use boots. So SMB1 and SMB3. This setup looks fairly complicated, but basically Bowser Jr. is going to throw his green shells into these clown cars and into these claws. And then the last pair of shells he throws are going to activate these on-off switches, which is going to kill Bowser Jr. This is going to allow the Spiny on top of him, with the launcher on top of him, to roam free. And when they are able to roam free, they will pass through Bowser Jr.'s shells without killing them. That includes the clown cars. So this is more Intangible Bowser Jr. shell goofiness. It's interesting to me how the launcher right there does not kill any of the shells or clown cars. Usually it would crush all of that and destroy all of it, but it does not. It just kind of goes back and forth. Here we go over some spawn blocking janks. So these munchers are going to fall down onto these pipes, and when they do, they're going to get this bomb and this dry bone stuck inside of them. This launcher right here is going to fall down on this pipe, this sideways pipe, and when it does, this mushroom is actually going to travel up the launcher and then pop out. Both of these things are going to happen at the same time, so check it out. So the mushroom pops up like that, and the bomb and the dry bone are both stuck in those munchers over there, which is pretty cool. You can also do the same trick with a star in this pipe. The star will bounce up and out and jump up even higher than normal, which is pretty cool. Another thing you can do is actually block the point in which it pops out of the launcher. And so when that happens, it'll actually get stuck in the launcher against the ceiling there, allowing you to either grab the mushroom, or if it's a little bit lower, you won't be able to grab it at all. I would imagine, unless you're Big Mario. Now, even Big Mario can't grab that mushroom that's stuck in that launcher. So that's a bit of a troll right there. A one-way, however, does not stop it from moving. So you could create a situation like this where the mushroom still pops up. Let's say we put a cloud right here. You create a cool little pocket for the mushroom to go. It pops out of this pipe that's down here. So, all fairly interesting things that you can do with spawn blocking a pipe. A Yoshi egg is fairly interesting as well because you will not see the egg, but you will see Yoshi hatch. So, no egg, but Yoshi still appears. Hammer Bro is kind of funny because he will sit there and throw his hammers like so, but when he goes to jump, he will just jump right off the edge of the earth. He's like, that's it, I'm done, I quit. With the right precision, Cat Mario here can actually clip through these semi-solids. If you dive and hit this question mark block, you can slide right underneath it and into this area, allowing you to get on with the level. Takes a little bit of precision, a little bit of practice, but you can do it. Can I do it? Oh yeah, it actually isn't that hard. I'm able to do it fairly consistently. But yeah. Clipping on through. On with my life. So a couple things here. It may not be that much of a secret, but when you hit the on-off switch, these conveyors will go the other direction, which will make this cannon climb. And when we do that, if we are Big Mush Mario, it will dig us right up through those blocks, which is kind of interesting. We cannot get up to the door, though. So now, even with the dry bone shell, Mario can still crash through these blocks, like that. And then we can jump out of the dry bone shell, allowing us to proceed with the level. What if, however, there are saw blades here? So these saw blades here would prevent us from going up and retaining this dry bone shell. Or would it? Even when we are in a crashed down state, we can break these blocks. So say I hit these on-off switch, and then I crash. When I am crashed Mario, we can still break through blocks, make it up there without taking damage from the saw blades, allowing us to move on with a level. This little tech will also work with a spiny shellmet. So same kind of scenario, I'm going to hit these on-off switches, I'm going to try to stay between those two blocks right there, and this cannon is going to lift me up through all of that. So the cannon will just dig me up through all of that mess. So we can still apply the same kind of scenario with the dry bone shell. So say we put those saw blades back there and we throw a dry bone shell on Mario, we can still break through these blocks when we are in a crashed state. So the cannon pushes us up through those saw blades, which usually isn't possible because the shellmet would keep you down there. But when you're in a crashed state, the shellmet doesn't matter apparently. It will still break blocks, but it will not stop you from going up through saw blades. So, pretty interesting tech.